I hope everyone's doing well, man. New video, obviously. You know, the grind serious, man. I just love drawing. In today's video, I just wanna talk about like warming up and basically, you know, just preparing yourself for drawings and what I plan to do to warm up and just, you know, get my hands loose before I do like a quick drawing session. I mean, not quick, obviously, ignore the quick, but yeah. Well, the point of warm-up is, well, obviously, if you think about it, like in sports terms, right, is to get yourself loose, prepare yourself physically, mentally. It's just getting yourself in the right mind frame. Mind frame? Yeah, mindset. Mind frame, mindset, same thing. Get yourself in the right mindset before you actually, you know, do the task. So let's say you're playing a sport, obviously, the sport, but in our case, is drawing. So before drawing, one thing I would highly recommend is just doing the physical stretching, right? Because if you really think about any skill, physical or like intellectual, I think that's a good point. Where would you even categorize art? It's not. Is it more of a physical, or is it more of like an intellectual work? Nah, that's a debate for another time. So chaps, you know, grab a cup of tea or grab a coffee. Obviously, I'm gonna recommend you get water, because why not? Water's agua. Ronaldo said it best. Agua. So yeah, after you've pretty much done that, I'd say you're physically prepared for the session. And what I would now suggest, now what we're gonna focus on is the mental side of it, and just kind of just mentally preparing yourself. So just when I mean mentally, I mean just getting yourself into the flow state and just kind of just being focused and on task. The warm-up I learned is from this professional guy called Mark Brunette. Before I started doing this segment of the recording of the voiceover, I had to check how to say his name, because I was like, oh no, I'm saying his name wrong. But yeah, I'll put a little like image or screenshot of his channel. He's professional. It's someone I really look up to in the art space. And obviously you've seen that I've put his basic little warm up, and I've put his advanced one. His advanced one I actually haven't looked into, mainly because I'm taking more of the humble route. I don't feel like I'm skilled enough to do it. Which I mean, now I sit there and think. Now I'm sitting down, I'm thinking, okay, I probably am skilled enough to do it. I haven't watched the video, but it's like when you draw, it's better to be more humble in your approach than it is to be egotistical, because again, it will just come back and bite you in the bum. So I haven't watched the advanced one, but here's what I've learned from the more basic, beginner friendly one. As you can obviously see on screen right now, this is me during the warm-up. Like, I felt kind of weird, mainly not because of the warm-up itself, but because I downloaded his brush set, and like, I'm not even gonna bother getting into that, but I'm here to teach you. So what he taught me is, initially, you want to focus on just drawing different shapes. Obviously the main ones, so like cylinders, circles, and then cubes for the most part. Because I mean, those are pretty much, I mean, you can pretty much boil every object into those shapes. I'm trying to think of an object which you can't do that for. Maybe something that's like completely, like, I don't know, triangular, but even then, like, you can use cubes and kind of cut it out from there. But yeah, so obviously drawing shapes and then modifying them, so that could be stretching them, squeezing them, squashing them. So in a sense, it's kind of like just basic animation. So squash, stretch. What else could you do with the shapes? Enlarge them, make them small. What else? Connect them together. And then the final one is like carving them out. So let's say you have a cube. You can turn that cube into, what can you turn it into? Like a plug socket. Like, you could, actually, I'll put examples of what he does in his video. on the screen.
Exercise that we're just going to be calling carving basic volumes. So far, we've rotated them, deformed them, and now we're just gonna whip out our imaginary carving knife and start to chop away at this. Carving, in combination with the first two exercises, should really allow you to recreate most shapes that exist. In a simplified version at least, like a construction. That should certainly cover most of the things you might want to draw. In my art program, what I use this for initially is for rounding out corners, introducing a bevel along edges, because looking at shapes like...
So I hope that makes sense of what I meant by, like, you know, being able to turn like a cube into a plug socket. So yeah, volume carving is what you called it. So hope that made sense to you. There's another warm up which I've just been like just doing. I'd say like just throughout my whole art journey in general. It's just like even before I go on iPad, right, I would just literally just draw random lines in different directions. I would make sure I'm using my shoulder, because using your shoulder you can get longer lines. But I feel like some of this advice, like, people should just know. You should know you should be using your whole arm. Like, you should use your shoulder when you're drawing, right? And that's for more like expressive poses and just more. If you're just going for more more eye-catching drawings, basically. What else? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just grabbing a canvas and just drawing, just like different lines, circles, just random stuff, just to free up your hand. But yeah, that's everything I have for today, man. Peace.